Welcome back, everybody. This is Girls Only Sports, the Playbook, your favorite show talking about focusing on girls and women's sports. I am Candace, that's Kay. Follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and now Facebook to keep you up to date on everything that's going on in girls and women's sports. This is going to be a quick and fun episode because a lot of news have happened, but enough for us to not keep you too long. So we're going to start off as normal with our full court press. And we're going to start with women's soccer, the She Believes Cup. We talked about it a little bit last week, the USA versus Japan. But Emma Hayes suffers her first loss as a head coach for the U.S. women's national team, and Japan captures the She Believes Cup. Now, granted, a lot of the mainstays and stars, weren't in attendance, but what were your takeaways from the match? Albeit that they scored in 2.5 seconds.
Right. I think it was a good match. And again, I expected Japan to give them a good game. Japan's a heavy hitter. So we've struggled against Japan for the last couple years. It's been clear that Japan just has a little step on us. We have been pulling out wins against them, but this wasn't our game. It wasn't our match to win. And I think it's good to lose. I don't want to sound sometimes it's good to lose, get the dust off. Emma wasn't going to stay undefeated forever. I think she made a good point that it's just you keep moving. It's not going to define the team. It doesn't define the team. I think again we got to see a lot of new players, a lot of new faces, trying to see what Emma Hayes is thinking and going forward. So I think it was a good experience. I got a lot of good minutes from people, and again, I still don't think they look bad in the loss. So.
Yeah, shout out to them.
Take it in stride.
Right. Of course, do you think, like you just said, this was an opportunity? You know you can't win all of them, but it's going to be a very different team once they get Triple Espresso bag, Germa bag, try to settle on who's going to take Alyssa Nair's space in goal. But was there any one player on the U.S. women's national team that was like, okay, when it's time to start and the World Cup and the Olympics come around, I'm making a name for myself?
I think there was quite a few players that got themselves more camp call-ups. I don't know necessarily if we have a limited roster, any of these players are I seen anybody that hasn't already been in the squad, meaning like a Lynn Williams, Jaden's been in the squad and everything like that. I think there are people that showed a lot of potential and a lot of young talent, which again, Lynn and them, they're older, so you got to think future. Not old, but you know what I mean.
Old in sports world, which is 30.
It comes a time exactly where you have to again pass the reins off, and I think there's a lot of players that show potential in the future, and definitely more camp call ups. But yeah, 4 years is a lot. What were we at? 2 years or so from the next World Cup, so they got some time. We'll see.
Lessons learned. That's always good. But congrats for Japan for being able to capture the She Believes Cup and make things interesting as always. Because we know in women's soccer, it's parity and everybody can win at this point. Still going on in our full court press. Let's press along to the WNBA. The big news within the last week. Your GOAT. One of the best basketball players in the history of the sport, does not matter the gender, the age, the rank, nothing. Diana Taurasi from the Phoenix Mercury and the UConn Huskies decided to retire after 20 seasons in the WNBA. Let me just read off just a little bit of this woman's resume.
Yeah, go ahead.
3 straight national championships in college. 2 Naismith College Player of the Year awards, #1 draft pick, Rookie of the Year, 11-time WNBA All-Star, 10-time All-WNBA First Team, 6-time EuroLeague champ, 7-time WPBL champ, 3-time WNBA champ, 2-time WNBA Finals MVP, 5-time WNBA scoring champion, 4-time USA Basketball Female Athlete of the Year, WNBA MVP, the WNBA's all-time leading scorer, and a 6-time gold medalist. This is one of, if not the best women's basketball player that has ever played. She's obviously one of the best winners, has decided to retire. This is your GOAT, so I'm passing it off to you.
Listen, first of all, I want to say I hate that the last time we spoke about Diana Taurasi, I said Diana's not the type to give us on a random Tuesday, and then if she did it, ma'am, on a Tuesday,
right?
I was appalled.
Right.
I was appalled. But yeah, Diana Taurasi's like, for me, that is the first player that I've seen their whole career. So like coming into the league and then being able to see her just throughout the years. So she holds a very special place in my heart. I love her fire. I love the intensity she's always played with. Diana's going to tell it like it is. She's going to speak what's on her mind. The funniest player on the court. Like, she's just done the wildest stuff. Like, it's just
probably broken every rookie that ever came into the league. Everybody has a Diana Taurasi story. Outside of the rookie, she treat these new age rookies well though.
Right, that's what I heard. That's the rumor, but I'm like, listen, they didn't used to always get that treatment, but
right.
Yeah, just there's not enough words to say about Diana Taurasi and the legacy and the impact she's left on the league. And again, she's probably inspired a lot of these players that's out here giving it like that these days. So I'm sad to see her go, but what a career, and wish her all the best in the future, because
same part of me was like, there's no way she's gonna leave without a farewell tour. Like, she's been so much,
I'm disappointed,
part of it. And part of me is sad as well, because we didn't get a Cynthia Cooper farewell tour. Yep. We didn't get a Cheryl Swoops farewell tour. I don't think we got a Lauren Jackson one. We didn't get a Tamika Catchings. We got a Tamika Catchings one a little bit. She got to the playoffs, but we definitely didn't get a Maya Moore. We didn't get a Candace Parker. We gonna leave Maya alone. That's gonna bring back some memories. It doesn't look like we'll get like an Angel McCaughtry or Elena Deladon, and to not get a year for Diana to be celebrated, especially in this moment, because I give so much credit to her and her generation of basketball players, because they had to toil away when everybody felt comfortable and necessary to disrespect the W or disrespect women's basketball played at a professional level. When people weren't interested, she was just going out hooping regardless. And that's what kept the league alive. That's what kept the interest alive, to the point where we get to where we are now, where everybody's interested in wanting to buy into the WNBA, only for us to get to this moment and she's no longer with us. But what better way to leave something is like, hey, I built it 20 years. You guys take it to the next level. And I think where we are now is the perfect kind of award for what Diana Taurasi has meant. First, she's going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer. I don't know what her second career is going to be, but it was just, it's been everything just watching her compete for all these years. So shout out to Diana Taurasi. We won't see her anymore, which is gonna be weird.
It's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be so weird without Diana in the league.
It's gonna be weird in the league, on the Olympic team. It just women's basketball just
like, we knew that was the last one. But
right.
We knew that was the last Olympics, but also like, it's Diana, so you never really know.
Right.
But yeah, it's sad. It's a sad moment for the W, and respect the GOAT. One of the GOATs.
And Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi, we may have to call you to the, I can't talk too much because sometimes it's hard to butcher names, but when Diana Taurasi is coming on a View, you got to practice. So Whoopi, you got to know you a legend.
You got to know who's coming.
Yeah. Get that Taurasi right. But we ain't going to call you all the way to the Corvette. Right. And to think, not to harp on this, it's like, was that the first time Diana Taurasi has ever been on The View? And that's just kind of the thing. Like, these athletes have been around all these years, and they could have made the connection to prioritize and highlight the players in that way. But Diana gets to go on the show once she retired. So it's kind of a bittersweet thing. But I'm glad, she won, and people are recognizing her for her success and her accomplishments. From GOAT to GOAT, so as Diana Taurasi retires, the WNBA somehow, some way was able to pull Serena Williams into the mix, who was announced a part of the ownership group of the Toronto Tempo. That news came out on a random Monday, Tuesday as well.
Random day.
They're just leaking it this time. The Toronto Tempo actually leaked the news themselves and were able to promote it. So what are your thoughts about Serena being owner of Toronto? I think it's about time. It's good for her, of all people, to make the connection with women's basketball. But what do you think? Especially it being in Toronto, if you get what I'm saying.
Right. I got you. Yeah, I think it's exciting for Serena, and again, it was just a matter of time. I feel like Serena's kind of got her hand in a couple pots, and right. I know her husband's a part of ownership. I think she is too on Angel City, on the Angel City side in the league. So it's exciting to see these players crossing sports. So I seen Sabrina Ionescu joined the ownership of Bay FC in the NWSL as well. So exciting times.
Right.
Girls sticking together.
Right.
I love a crossover.
Not girl power.
Yeah.
Not girl power. Shout out to Sabrina for getting that portfolio up. I'm just happy that she's made that connection, because for so long there needed to be, everybody's been wanting their Serena in each sport, but she was a singular, she and her sister.
She is, yeah.
You see it, the greatest.
Okay, go.
A singular figure, but for her to jump into the W at this time, I think is a great and wonderful thing. So shout out to the Tempo, and hopefully she'll be able to bring her star power and expertise to the W, which will be extraordinarily beneficial. Moving around along, still pressing, we're going to touch on a little women's college basketball. Tell me you saw a little bit of that OSU Maryland game. I only want to focus on the end.
I seen what I needed to see.
You see what you needed to see? So I was in my feelings hard, because our hometown team, the Buckeyes, we get ourselves in these situations where, obviously we was feeling bad because we couldn't pull off wins against USC and UCLA. Then we get into these overtime games and stuff like that. We took a loss to Indiana, yada, yada, yada. We get to this game. That last second shot, I was heated. I was heated because I'm like, she carried, like, the referee. But then...
You like, call it.
Call it. Then I had to be humble. Because homegirl slid with that ball on the floor when she hit the reverse. I said...
Listen, I was watching that, and they was like, travel?
Right.
I'm confused.
Because I didn't know she dribbled again, but when she hit... She hit that one leg slide like she was sliding the home plate. I was like, oh, okay, let me get humbled a little bit. And Cody.
They said y'all got one.
Right.
And then they get one.
That's why they swallowed the whistle. So I can appreciate both of them, because they let us get away with one. And Cody, let's not be throwing a double bird up on the I love her.
I love Cody.
I love her. Like, I need that. I need her to bring that every game. Like, and she does, but I need her to bring that so we can rattle off some of these wins. I want OSU to do some big things in the Big Ten championship. I want them to shock the world. But she was not feeling that Minnesota crowd at all.
Right.
Or that Maryland crowd. It wasn't Minnesota, it was Maryland. Yeah. She was not feeling them.
She wasn't.
In other women's college basketball news, what did you think about the SEC and the coin flip of who was going to get the #1 seed?
That was strange.
Yeah.
This is interesting. This is new. I didn't care for it. I feel like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, I think if you played in the season, whoever won should have got it.
Right. And
then, there has to be a better way than a coin toss. That's it. Bizarre.
I'm just like,
maybe like computer generated, anything.
Right. Y'all been in conference for so long, and I know y'all have added all of these different teams, but it seems just, it could have been a better way than just a coin flip. We understand it was a tie.
Or like, even look at some numbers. Like, if it's schedule, tie,
who they lost by, how many? Yeah. But like, no, they was legit standing in front of the TV, waiting in front of the commissioner to throw up a coin flip, and that's it. Whoa.
Excuse me.
That was South Carolina gets the #1 seed, but the SEC tournament is going to be interesting.
Yes.
All of the tournament's going to be interesting, but I got a close eye on the SEC tournament and the Big Ten tournament, like we just mentioned, because our Buckeyes, we hopefully can make some stuff shake. But as we move along to our She Did That segment and the Big Ten tournament, I would want to say UCLA don't want nothing to do with that lady named Juju Watkins. I don't know how this is about to turn out, but she gets this week's She Did That, because she has a personal vendetta against UCLA and whatever battle that's going on. Because let me just read off her numbers of what she's done to UCLA the 5 times that they've played them so far. So this is going back to Juju's freshman year. As a freshman, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals. 32 points, 10 rebounds, 3 blocks, 3 steals. 33 points, 10 blocks, 10 rebounds, 2 blocks, 3 steals. As a sophomore, 38 points, 11 rebounds, 8 blocks, 5 assists. 30 points, 3 rebounds, 3 blocks, 2 steals. Juju, what did UCLA do to you? Like,
she said, there can only be one California team. That's what I'm hearing.
It is quite personal. But the performance that she put on in UCLA, ridiculous.
The camera stare down. I'm here for it all.
Listen, and
Juju.
I think one of the best stories, and it has been talked about a lot, but seeing her dap up Cheryl Miller.
Yeah, that was the one. That was the one.
I hope Juju knows how important that is for people who have been around the game for a long time, because to me, Cheryl Miller's been disrespected and disregarded.
Oh, yeah.
And even by USC for a number of years, she's just been one of those players who everybody says was good, but nobody wants to give her credit, her flowers, XYZ. But for Cheryl Miller to basically get a front row seat to see probably like
a
her
clinic.
Yeah,
right.
A clinic, and probably see, I'm looking at myself in 2025 version,
right.
And for Juju to embrace her, obviously she wasn't old enough or alive to see Cheryl Miller play, but
right.
for her to make that connection, and when I saw that, I was just like, oh, I shouldn't be doing that at a basketball.
Moment I've been waiting
for.
It
was the moment.
Right.
It was the moment. I was in my feels.
Yeah.
But shout out to Juju Watkins and whatever she is doing against UCLA.
Absolute clinic. I don't want to see Juju at all in March. Like, that's how I would feel. Like, I don't want to see Juju in March.
Not at all. Not at all. And we know that's going to be a crazy, crazy thing. That March Madness on the women's side is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
We're going to fill our brackets out.
For sure. That's going to be a special episode.
Yeah.
So now our X's and O's segment, we talk, as always, our favorite reality show on TV right now, Unrivaled.
We're so close to the end, and I'm getting nervous about it. I don't want to go.
We don't want it to end. Unrivaled's now selling merch. I mean, they're just doing everything. They're like the biggest influencer as well. So all their jerseys are going to be for sale and things like that. Look, I'm all for it. I mean, they've been able to grab basketball attention in the offseason from the WNBA, and any money to the players' pockets and them being able to utilize that in all kind of ways. I'm all for it. But the big thing we're going to talk about today is who is going to be the Unrivaled MVP. There's a few players in contention just by points, and then obviously the record and things like that. We know the Lunar Owls only have 1 loss. Rose is on this ridiculous winning streak. They've clinched a playoff spot. The Laces got off to a really hot start, but then injuries kind of got to them and everybody else. So just a little bit. Yeah. Who is your pick? They give you 3 on the website. Your top 3, 1, 2, 3, Unrivaled MVP for their first season.
So I got 3, but I want to give you a 4th.
Okay, 4th place vote.
My 4th place vote, shady. My 4th place vote, no shade, without injury, would be in my top 3 is Tiffany Hayes.
Okay.
Like, Tiffany, I feel like she got the injury bug and she's been out a little bit, but Tiffany Hayes definitely gets a nod for me. I got to give her some type of love. Outside of that, 3, I'm going Skylar.
Okay.
I'm going Skylar 3. 2, I'm going Fee.
Okay.
And then 1, I'm going Chelsea Gray. And I know.
Why you take mine?
Is it? I'm like, I know this is gonna be a little controversy for the people, because y'all still going on in them comments,
right? But what Chelsea Gray do to y'all? What's she doing a lot right now?
Chelsea, the Rose would not be in anybody's conversation, you know, this is my team too.
Right. Right.
The Rose would not be the team that they are. They would not be on the win streak that they are. They would not be in the conversation at all without Chelsea Gray. She has put this team on her back. She has been captain. She has been coach. She has been playmaker. She's been the point guard. That's who she's been. And yeah, she's got my number one spot for me.
See, this segment ain't gonna be interesting because it was my top three.
Those were your top three?
That was my top three. My top three was Chelsea
order?
Gray, Fee, and Skylar Diggins. Now, for the sake of conversation, I can flip it and go Fee number one just because
for sure.
She has had no off switch the entire time. But I think, not to compare and contrast them, but I think a lot of that is because Skylar Diggins came in unrivaled, like she had a point to prove. And she got, there was a clip, I don't know if we can find it and put it in the show, but there was a clip where all three players on the court were diving for the basketball. And I think that's all because, not all of it, but most because Skylar Diggins has come in with this type of, I'm going to get it mentality. Yes.
Yeah.
So that's why she was 3. So for sake of conversation, I'll put Chelsea Gray 2 because she's playing out of her mind. But I think Fee, not even winning the one-on-one tournament, but she's just been not only a bucket and defensively, but she's just been, by and large, the best player consistently since Unrivaled started and still only had that one loss. I think Rose and Lunar Owls play, don't they play Friday?
Do they?
I think they play Friday.
We're going to have to lock in for that.
We're going to have to lock in for that one. We may have to do a special go live because that's going to be
go live for that one.
A matchup. Yes, they do. They play Friday at 8:15. So that's going to be the matchup. But see,
that was going to be fun to watch.
This X and O's went quick because you said all that needs to be said about what's going on with Chelsea Gray.
On base, I'm with you. Like if you just look at the whole season as a whole, I would go Fee number one. But like if you really look at who has had the most impact for their team and everything else, and just built she really put that team on her back.
Right.
Like without Chelsea Gray, the Rose will look a lot like the Mets. I'm just playing. I'm only saying that because that's the team you picked. But
they playing better. They
are,
but it's everybody
sure beat the Rose.
But it's everybody on the Rose though. Lexi Halden turned into a lockdown defender. I don't know what's gotten into her. Angel Reese in real time can, like, people gonna be eating their words year 2 WNBA because them shots is falling now. The rebounds is still high.
I'm just playing, y'all. I'm being messy because y'all was being messy.
All in the comments, leave Angel Reese alone.
Leave Angel alone.
But no, she got that team hooping. But it's some kind of crazy stat where Chelsea and Angel are scoring like 60% of their team's points, which is
and that was the
ridiculous.
Connection that we was looking at when this first started. They announced the teams. We were like. I think you said you wanted to see how Angel plays when she got a point guard that can really, dish to her. And it proves like Chelsea makes everybody a better player. Like having Chelsea Gray on your team makes you a better player and a better team. And I don't think you can deny it. I don't think you can deny it.
You can't. I think the worst part, not the worst part, but probably for the worst part for the league is that Chelsea Gray is looking like 2022 Chelsea Gray. And
it's
Asia
not safe
got
for
the
nobody.
shoe coming out. Jewel Lloyd a little pissed off, and having an informed Chelsea Gray. I know people start writing off the Aces a little bit. And
it's not time.
All the other teams that got better in the W, kudos, but they didn't gave Angel Reese and Camilla Courtney Vandersloot.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fun season. It's gonna be very interesting. I'm excited for the conversation
for sure.
Because that
keep
year
it lit
for
in the comments.
Like
we want to hear it. Like
listen.
This ain't we're not tissue paper over here. Like bring it on.
Yeah, everybody can have their opinion. I'm here for it. I love it. I'm just entertained because I don't even gotta say that. Y'all gonna fight for whoever. Right. Yes, and I respect it. And I love too, like a lot of it, especially on TikTok and stuff, has been ball. Like everybody's
Mm-hmm.
y'all got y'all stats, y'all got y'all's numbers for everybody. So I love it. I'm enjoying
Right.
the conversation. So keep it coming.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I told you guys it was going to be a really quick episode. I hope that you enjoyed it once again. Please follow us on all social media platforms: Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook. Please check us out for all of our content. We're going to be following the girls basketball tournament here in the state of Ohio. So we have some pretty big name players and big teams. So if you want to keep an eye out on that content, please follow us as well. Once again, I am Candace. That is Kay. This is the Playbook, and we are Girls Only Sports.